The table on our tickets index page is displaying data, but it's hard-coded in the HTML. If we go into resources, tickets index, we can see the hard-coded data here. So what we want to do is populate the table with data from our tickets table. Unfortunately, the tickets table is currently empty though. We do have a mechanism for creating vast quantities of data, and that's using Laravel's factories. And we can find those in database factories. And in fact, we've got one factory that comes by default, the user factory. The user factory uses Faker to generate random text that gets returned for the name, email, password and remember token. We can use the command line to generate a factory like this. And we need ticket data, so I'll call it a ticket factory. And if we go back to the project, we can see ticket factory here. Now, the downside of doing it this way is that you've got to detail each field's, each column's test data yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'll just delete this, and I find it better to just copy the existing user factory, and we'll call this ticket factory again. And this time we've got a blueprint, kind of structure already in place that we can use. Now let's see what columns we've got in our tickets table. We've got an ID, summary, description, status. Okay, so we're going to have to generate some test data for the summary, and that will be, we'll use a sentence for this. What else? We've got a description. This will be a little longer, so we'll use a paragraph from Faker. And we've got a status. I think for status we'll just use, oh, look at that, we'll just use a word from Faker. Just get rid of these spaces. And we don't need anything else. And we'd better change the class that we're using to be the ticket class. Right, okay, so that's the factory created. We're going to use this on the command line to generate some data within Tinker. So PHP artisan Tinker. Right, so we'll use a tickets variable. And I think we'll create 100 tickets. So press enter on that. You can see all the test data that's been generated there. And if we go over to PHP MyAdmin and just browse the table's contents, there's our test data. And up here you can see that it created 100 rows. That's the test data sorted out. If we go back over to the tickets index page, what we need to do is retrieve that data from the tickets table and populate this table with that data. So we'll do that in the next video.